Good morning, good morning. Well, our open was really good for our levels. Really solid rejections, especially on NQ at our battle line this morning. Off of a failure above in overnight. And then really solid reoffer right at open. And push down so far into our day origin. So that to me looks good. Looks like a potential continuation down here. I would say down to 100s on NQ is our potential, just for the full gap fill and a little bit further, right? But I don't know, ES is kind of interesting where it's trading with the divergence with Russell. But I think I want to see us traverse through this range fully, right down to this point. Don't know if we need to come up here first and then we go down. I'm unsure as of yet, but I do like the full rotation down into this slower structure. That looks like that's gonna happen for sure. ES looks so weak here. We'll see if they can take it in, but I just don't know, man. The amount of absorption that we have above us on ES and NQ is just kind of crazy. Like as we push into 795 to 800, that's where I feel like we really just aren't able to move. I think we trap into that, and then we'll probably head down if we don't see like an almost immediate bid through this. I won't be bullish at all, I don't think, until we can get through this guy. That would be into here. So as we push, I'm just going to be watching to see if we take in size here and then actually fail and then rotate like that, or if we're able to get back above that battle line and then go. Again, just for context, we opened above POC in value of our previous candles. There's very clearly someone trying to buy these lows. I am not willing to participate here because I think that this is probably going to be a trap. I would need to see us much higher for me to care about NQ and ES here, personally. I do see that we did open above though, so don't get me wrong. I do see it. I'm just watching to see if, again, these participants here that we're currently, building in this area, if we're going to basically fail and then rotate back below for that continuation on both of these. Or if this is going to be able to hold and then we're going to be able to get over our pivots above us that look much more convincing to me. We just see some like pretty strong deltas in this region like this that we need to breach through. Same thing on NQ. Just like everything between 210 and 235 I would need to see us breach, or I would expect us to do something like this, kind of absorb into these highs, and then we'll look for a shift below our POC previous candle for these guys to then flip from bid back down to offer, and then I would care. For me to go bullish, I would need to see us flip over that 96 to 800, 801. Just show that we want to break this downtrend, right? Same thing here. Just show that like that offer isn't gonna be chilling there. Ooh. How was everyone's weekend? Anyone do anything fun? What's up, Myth? What's up, Maldito? Yeah, kind of similar. Got a haircut. Got caught in like the biggest storm, little flash flood midday. Got dinner with the family. Nothing crazy. Just worked on indicators quite a bit this weekend. Nice, that's cool. I don't know if I'd be able to sleep in a place like that personally, but it is a cool experience. You were just like out in the open? Like, how does that work? I have such a hard time falling asleep as is. And you like put that into like a new spot with other people. It's just, I don't know if I'd like ever be able to go to sleep. But but I like the idea of it, you know? Bouncing POC so far. We would need to flip this for this to then have validity of what I'm talking about. So far, holding. ES is the one that I'm really curious about. Need to flip below that 90. Same thing with NQ below 180. We're holding where we need, right? We're seeing exactly what we were talking about, which is these guys are now offsides up into that absorption that I spotted, right? Following our pathing here. But we do need to get below POC here at this 90.92. We flip that, we're good to go for our plan to have follow through. NQ lagging. No look below as of yet. We are taking in the size that we need, but we need to get below that yellow line here from our previous candle. ES lead. What's up, Allie? Let's see if sell side can get some follow through here. We're below POC of previous candle. They're trying to sweep us down. See if we can get a bit more. Just following our plan. How many people were there, Ben? Was it like packed, or was it like a comfortable amount of people where it's still, I don't know. Like it's hard to picture stuff like that. Like it seemed so cool in my head, but was it like, were you guys like shoulder to shoulder, or is it like there was like a decent amount of space? Okay, that's good. No downside yet on NQ. That's got me a little worried that we might not get the full move. ES looks good still, looks fine. These guys are offsides above. 4 minutes left on this candle until new 15s. I really want NQ below this POC, below 175 for that re-offer if we're gonna do it. We need to continue to just take in size here, and then we need to get that follow through for that like down. I really would like to see us down at this like 100, 140 area, at least to fill gap. But at the end of the day, like I really want the value fill. I just don't think we're holding much better on NQ than I thought. The move on ES was incredibly predictable with our deltas. We just need to see sell side really show interest below 92 in offer. We're still just absorbing sellers there. We're in a battle between our passive sellers into our 96 to 800, and our passive buyers down here at our 790 on ES right now. So we're just kind of like stuck. I'm not bullish whatsoever on this market until we are able to get over that 800, 801 and bid. That is the key for me to break the downtrend, to get over our VWAP where these passive sellers continue to take in. I need to see us over that for me to think that we have a chance to go up. Again, we are taking in a massive amount of sellers into our lows, but that doesn't mean much if we can't do anything above, right? Like if buyers can't get us over our seller, we're just kind of stuck for right now. So I want to see buyers get taken in here for a lower high, right? Not be able to come back up to these highs here. I want to see the offer try to like stick here for a lower high, absorb here now, and then sweep these lows for our next leg. That would be the ideal situation. If we come back up, it's just way less confident. We're seeing buyers getting taken in here at 210s on NQ, watching to see if they hold this, and then we push down below 190 on NQ. Again, I don't have anything specific here for NQ. It's more of an ES play as of right now. NQ would need to either go up a little bit higher and trap and then go lower, or we would need to get above like 230, 240 for me to be bullish there for on the NQ play. It's just it's very in the middle right now. So I would need to see us kind of like shift out of that and either trap above and then look down, or trap below and then look up. Something new on NQ. So just keeping an eye on this as we push into new 15s. We have a minute 20. I'm assuming that we'll get our decision then into this new 15. We're just balanced between our value high and low, right? But I want to see if we're gonna, you know, trap down here and then flip back above our battle line, or if this will shift and hold, you know, this downtrend that we're doing on both. Yeah, there, NASDAQ looks much better than ES, in my opinion. That is for sure. But they're still both just like below our pivot that we need them to flip. That's the thing. Is I don't know if we're trapping into these highs, into the open of new 15, and then we push below, or if this is able to sustain, break this downtrend, and then rotate back up to 270. I just don't have a clear sign yet with how slow we're moving and how in the middle of our area of interest we are. Whereas with ES, we have like a pretty clear VWAP here that's holding us to the downside, like, oops, like this. Right, we have a VWAP that looks like this kind of right now. Okay, yeah. And so as long as we're kind of holding that line and we're unable and they continue to just take into this, then I am not too worried. New 15s have opened, just watching still. To me, this is like we're not able to function here on it. Like I can't take a position on NQ. We could easily go up here, or we could easily come down here, and it feels really like a 50-50. So I will just wait to see if we continue to take in following our plan, right? And if we can get below, then I'm very interested for this leg down. Look at the buyers that got stuck there. like we were just talking about. So again, like that to me has a lot of potential. I mean, we'll see what they do, but what we have is buyers into these highs and now buyers here who have attempted, and we're looking to see if we can shift below these lows, and then we would have basically, right, a lower high that gets put in, and then we're looking for a sweeper that'll then push us down. If we can get below this, then sell side wins. Right now, again, you're just kind of stuck here waiting for a side to win out. And the only way that I'm bullish is if we hold these lows, get above, and then are able to pop off of this and then go above our battle line. And then we would have trapped this liquidity and then probably have trapped some sort of seller here as well. And then we go up. Without that move, I just see too much selling above us short term. NQ is going to be the thing that probably leads us up with us holding where we are, holding POC of our previous candles. Again, I don't see anything wrong with it. It looks okay from a bullish perspective, but I will not be trading it until we get above that 240, 220 area. Personally, or below 180. And I can explain my reasoning via delta here, just so that you have, so what I'm saying has a bit of a grounding to it. Well, actually, I mean, I guess it's pretty obvious if you're looking at footprint, right? Like these guys are where the downtrend started. So it'd be us coming back up to that 30 to 40, which is where this absorption occurred in the first place, right? So to me, this is kind of what I'm watching, is what happens as we push into this guy. Is this where we're going to reject and then rotate down through? So until we could actually like push above this, I just kind of have to expect that we're going to hit our heads there short term. That's kind of the point. And it's the same thing on ES, but like ES, it's just like very clear with how much of a downtrend we're in. But like from a delta perspective, this same area looks like this. Right, so like that's going into that. We have like this just huge block of buyers, and we can see them taking in size into that high. So I would just want us to be able to get through this guy, show interest above. Or I'm just expecting that we like come into this and then we'll rotate down off of that. We'll see. Like I said, it's just two in the middle for me. I just needed a decision to be made on either side. Oh, and I guess I should explain the talk what I was saying about the low as well. So the reason why I need to, I'm not positionally on buy side or sell side is just because we're trapped in between those two guys, this guy here and this guy here. So until we breach either side, to me, this just feels kind of like a range trade. And because we're moving so slow and the price action looks like this on NQ on the lower time frame, it's just a little bit too illiquid for me for the move to have any sort of like real confidence. I just feel like I'd get, as soon as like news or any sort of like liquidity came out, I would immediately just get like stopped because of how awful this move looks on the lower time frame. So I'm just gonna wait for this to kind of settle. And then we'll figure it out, because what we see at the lows, just like we saw at the highs here, is, like, if we look at our delta, right, we've got, it's incredibly two-sided, right? Like taking it in both sides here. So I would either need us to step below this 180-190 that we were talking about, or above this this 240-230. it just feels a little trapped. And it's even clearer on ES in my opinion, which is why I think that that's probably the better trade. And that's why I'm considering that more so than an NQ, because on ES, it's so clear in the sense of structurally what we're watching here. Let me turn this off real quick and then just go full size for this chart. So this is what we're seeing on ES, and it's driving why my positioning was like that for the short term, right? We don't have anything until we can flip over these highs. We're just seeing the buyers get taken in into this. And I know that if we continue to just absorb into this, that as soon as we get below this 90-92 and offer it, that we'll start to really get some downside pressure with how they're absorbing. So I'm just watching the reactions here. And I know that if we can flip over this 800, that we would then shift out of our trend and then rotate and then get a really nice bid. But if these guys continue to maintain, right, you're seeing that sell side push to the downside. And if we can like offer these lows, we're in a really great position for that continuation. So it just looks very balanced, but with a downside bias because of how we've been trading so far, which is just our pathing that we have suggested, right? And you can see it's the same thing with NQ getting taken into these highs. Oh, you know what I can do visually to make this a little bit easier for you is we can just do this and then do this. So now you have like an idea of like where we're kind of rotating in between short term. Yeah. It's auto adjusting. It sucks. All right, let's see what they can do into these lows. We don't have follow through on NQ yet, which is sad, where it's holding ES. Sell side just really tried here into these lows. So far failing. I want to see us putting another lower high, right? Just like we were looking for this original offer here, and then we were looking for this lower offer here, right? I want to see them now try to take into this, so that we then are able to then push down from this 92, ideally, right, into this guy, and then show that interest below that we need. It's already, you know, this move's already paid a little bit, but I'd like more. I'd like to see this break down between our two pivots right now. It's just taking forever because we have divergence with NQ pushing up our highs and ES trying our lows, right? Very divergent market, so you want to be careful. Again, I'm only bullish. I'm neutral on NQ. We're trading between this participant here and this participant here, and I need to see what our reaction is going to be. Is it going to be this offer that then rotates down, or are we going to be able to continue these higher lows and continue to rotate up for this shift above, and then, you know, continuation? Unsure. Sorry if I'm confusing you at all today. I think I'm pretty clear on ES. Again, I don't have a great understanding of what NQ is doing divergence-wise. I don't know who's going to win this, if sell side's going to win or if buy side's going to win when things finally do have a confluence. All I know is that NQ is incredibly more bullish than ES, and if NQ can like show interest here above this 230, 240, then that might be able to influence ES enough to flip the downtrend and then actually go up instead of down, right? But if NQ can't get above this previous offer and show interest on retest, then all we're doing is trapping for then a rotation to the downside. So I really need to see these things start to come together to show which way we want to go, because right now it's, you know, it's incredibly two-sided. I'm trying to make sure our charts stay decently clean, and then you'll have an idea of where we need to push. Again, this is really where we want to see the bid try to defend this look above, or where we will just fail here into 240s, and then we will look for that pop back below 230 for a trap. This is an open of new 15s. So we're pushing into our highs here, and we're looking for that lower offer like we talked about on ES. We want them to trap into this and then rotate us down if we're going to continue downwards, right? We want them to trap here, push below. This is our value low of previous candle, so I'm just going to adjust that down to 91.50. We'll see if they do that, or if we fail, and then we actually push up instead. So we're expecting this to get taken in here, and then we want to see the offer then step down and then push if it's going to go down. If we're going to go up, we continue to defend these lows, and then I'm going to be looking for, you know, some sort of like higher low like this, and then we would go up. So I would only be bullish on the flip over this. To me, this is just like where they continue to try to defend and take into this. And again, we're diverging on NQ. This still hasn't showed any signs of weakness. What I want to see on NQ specifically is, can we defend this high and then push off this? Because again, if this fails, then we're just following this pathing back down. So it's really important that we continue to see a pretty aggressive bid continue to try to defend these higher lows, right? This channeling up structure that we have on NQ, and to get above this this guy here, which was our selling pressure to the downside. So once we have confluence on both markets where we've either pushed above our 800-801 on ES and above our pivot here on NQ, if they both want to go up on retest and show interest, I'll go long for sure. If they both start to fail as we push up into these highs again, and we have NQ at resistance, and then we have ES at our resistance again, and then they both go down, then that would be, right, like a pretty solid trap. So we'll find out soon, right? Markets will sync back up, and when they do, that's going to create our best opportunity. Just be patient. We have clear lines, clear levels. Battle lines are where we want to flip and hold. Again, I am not willing to long until we flip this. This is the top of our value. And so we held where we needed to in the mid, but it was incredibly slow. And so I now need to see what our reaction is going to be here as we retest our open rejection at our battle line at 270 on NQ. So if you did long any of this move on the right side of the V and you played it, this is your first risk off into 270 to 290. It has to be, because I don't know if we're going to be able to actually get this rotation up. If you can hold a runner on a look above, then you might have an incredible re-entry or ability to lower, add to your position if we can shift above this. Again, I am not in this position. I am waiting to see if we can flip and hold. We have a very clearly labeled zone. It says look above and fail area, intraday bullish on hold above. So if we can hold above here, I will go long on NQ. Just like on ES, if we can look above here, I will go long. I just need to see that that is something that we actually want to do, or this will be the best opportunity I can to actually take a short at the top of our value for rotations back down if we fail to sustain this, right? So I want to see us hold. If not, this is the top, and this is why you're going to see some profit taking as we push into this, right? This is our value high of our rotation. This is our value low. This is our mid. So what happens if we don't sustain above is that we then see sellers load the boat for rotations back down, which is, again, why I'm looking for the market to have some sort of shift outside of this area and then a supportive hold for the bull side. Or it's just going to be sellers now at the same spot on both NQ and ES, right, into our resistance. And then we have markets then moving together again, right? They're in sync. It's great that buyers were able to defend those lows, right? But now this is where they really need to show that they still have the ammunition that they need for the continuation, right? If they get exhausted into highs, that's an issue. So we want to see a pretty aggressive bid as we push into these highs, and then a defense of our level. If we can hold it, we've got great upside potential. If it fails, that's when things are going to get a bit iffy. Sorry, I'm just moving this over so that we can see. No change on ES for me. I'm just watching to see if NQ can breach. The area I'm watching on NQ now is, can we defend this what is this? 260 to 275. Really 270 to 260. But if we can just defend this, then we're in a really great spot for the upside move. I'm watching now as we push. Nothing bull-wise for me on ES. Nothing at all until we can flip over that 800, 801. But we've got a decent chance for buyers to try to defend here on NQ as we come back down into that 275, 260 area. We want to see it get bought instantly on retest, or it will be a beautiful trap like we talked about, where they would look in, fail, reoffer, rotate us back through, and then this is your range trade right on the re-entry to here. We want to see this get bought immediately and then show interest up. See what they do here into our 275, 260. Let's see if we can hold that or if that's going to flip. No change on ES. Still in our zone, our resistance, where we took our original entry. Same thing. Gotta flip it for more, or we're just stuck. Watching to see if we're gonna get these buyers to try to defend this 260 and then pop back up, or if they're gonna flip it and then trap these guys up into the highs. They're trying their best to defend this 260. We would need to be able to get back above 275, 285, or it'll be a lower offer here from our 260 defense. If we get above 275, 285, then upside is good to go. If this 260 does not hold on NQ, we make a lower high and we defend that 275, 285 on retest, then downside is probably what will happen. Testing into our 275 now off our 60 hold. Again, this is where they would offer it into 75, 85 if they were going to try to put in a lower high. Sell side would try to defend this. We would need to flip it for more. This is the first ES 15-minute candle that's defended POC of the previous, which is interesting. Russell divergence, NQ trying to hold. They're still taking it into that 60. Just need to be able to flip this, or again, this is just where they'll continue to reject. Need to show interest over. Holy, make a decision, please get me out. 75 offer, continuing to maintain on NQ, no change as of yet. Just following our pathing on NQ like we thought, which is a holding pattern here until we either pop above 90s for the bid, or get back below that 230 for the offer and rotation down. We're just stuck here into our high of our range at the ceiling, and our battle line need to make a decision. It is up to buyers to actually be able to do something with that defense of the lows. If they fail and become exhausted, right, and we can't get this flip, that's not a great sign. It's in their court, right? Like it's up to them. They have all of the power right now to try to push us up here into our 801s on ES to get this sync going. Same thing with NQ, right? We were able to hold and defend lows. We now need to see something done with these highs. If all that effort was exerted just to defend, and then we can't actually pop, and we just come back up to our, our offers, and then I'd be then expecting our lows to, be taken. So I really want to see us shift above these pivots and show that interest like we have drawn. It's really important. Get us above these battle lines and defending them. That gives us upside. Here's your NQ buyers trying to step in. We're trying to flip that 275, which is where that sell side was at 275 to 290. We're seeing if we can show that interest above, or if they're going to hold this. Yes, pushing into our battle line now. About to fall asleep. Jeez. Let's take off my first risk here on NQ as we push back down into this 255 from our 75.90. Don't know if we're going to get more. I just want to make sure that I take off a little just in case we are able to defend our value low here. Need to get below 230 for more. Or we just are still bullish on this rotation. Because higher lows would be defended, basically. Man, that hold on ES was pretty good from a order flow perspective. Watching our retest here, this is, like I said, buyers, it's in their court. If they can do anything as we push into the 800s and show some excitement, then we look okay with that defense of our lows. But we gotta do something with this. Holy. No change on NQ, still just rotating. This is all I'm watching on NQ. Is can we get above that, or does this lower high to be, is this defended, right? New 15s. See what they do. Both charts are posted in chat based off our deltas. You can see their pathing, what we need to do on both. Nothing has changed since I got on. Our two pivots have remained the same. We either hold here into our highs, right, and fail to get back above, or we'll rotate back down. Here, I'll give you the charts that I just posted. This is for ES. This is for our NQ. Feeling pretty good about our everything. Everything's playing. We're just still rotating in our range. If you are short, this would be your secondary risk off. And we're watching to see if we can flip back below our 230 like we talked about, or if they're going to bid it here. I just took it off another 5 contracts. If we can hold and flip, then we get our secondary move. This is our first move, right? Based off of our pathing here from our 270 to 290. This is the lower high retest. And now we're watching to see if we can get below this for this rotation down like we have on chart. Or if we bid here and then go up and are able to do something. Same thing with ES, no change ever. We were unable to get above our guy that we already identified, right? This guy who's taking in that size, no ability to push over our 801. No change. I will show you our pathing again. This is your first target on ES and NQ. We're watching to see if we can get more here or if that's that. Both charts in chat. If the bid's going to hold, it'll be here on ES. This is why it's your first risk off. This has to be. This is your 92, where we failed on last attempt and took in size. If they were going to hold a higher offer, it would be them trying to defend this 92 to 790, right? Low. If they're going to look below, right, we need to see a very clear shift below that and retest, or this is again where they will defend. So for me, this is, again, your first risk off, and you're now watching to see if we're able to hold here, or if we're going to flip back below for the secondary move. So this will let you know what we're going to do, right? We're either going to defend our previous absorption, where we were looking for NQ to try to reject, which is here, right? So we're now testing that area again, and what we're watching for is on this retest, right? We just pushed up, got that lower offer, and now have rotated down. Now we're waiting to see if this is going to just be a flag that we then pop off of and then can get that bid above our 90 so that we're bullish. Or is this going to continue to hold and maintain like we thought it would, right? Where sell side would, where buyers would take off profits and sellers would reload. And can we then get below this again, reoffer for this rotation down? Right, like that's all we're watching for. Is this now defended, and can we pop off of it, or do we get back below and then do this rotation between our two yellow zones again, between our 230 and 180? That is it. And it's the same thing on ES, right? We have a very clear pivot where we already identified that this is where we needed to flip for me to care about longs on ES, right? Above this 801, 802. This is that area where we, on the push down, we rotated, absorbed into these highs, and then rotated down off of it. So if we're going to do something new, I need us to flip above this, just like we've been talking about. And until then, you're just kind of in this range trade. And the reason why you're looking to see if we're going to defend this 92 to 90 on ES is that this would then be a higher low with these guys still trapped. And then we would be looking for this rotation up and then the defense above this 801, right? So it's just like, if we're going to defend, you want to see the balance low hold a higher low on that edge. And then you want to see us take out highs. That's the bull move, is that a retest of these lows shows they are signaling to sellers like, hey, we're now here and we're willing to defend. Because if they don't, right, then that's a lot more weakness, because that's just sellers reloading and then trapping everyone that was in this into these highs. And then we look below, and then this is like a pretty serious offer, which is why we've been, you know, bear bias. It's because this downtrend is intact with absorption into highs. So we're watching here now. We'll see if we can get a bit more on NQ, or if they're able to defend this as we test our edge. Just following our pathing. See if we get more, or if they're defending it. ES also testing into our 790, 792. What we would like to see on ES is 792 offer and hold. on this retest and then get below that 790 for continuation down. Is everything I'm saying making sense? Does that, like, pathing wise make sense? Does our zones, everything's labeled, everything makes sense? I should, but I mean, I understand if this market's just a bit too slow for you and you're impatient. I just don't want you to get caught, right, trading the mid, and then we're still just like bearish, right? We have very clear shifts where we would go bullish, and we've been talking about those shifts over and over again. Just took off another on NQ, watching to see if we can get this re-offer to on hold, or if they're going to trap here. So I want to see now sell side defend, right? Look at all these sellers that are here. If we're going to get this continuation down, we want to see them now defend that on our retest for this rotation to the other side. Very clear where we're looking for that offer to kind of hold. So again, we're looking for sellers to try to defend this 230, 250 for a lower offer, and then probably push us below 210 for continuation from an absorption here. I think that's probably what we're watching for. Moving my stop to 55s on NQ. See if we can get an average down here from this 230. That makes my my average now basically just this 55, 50 area. What the hell was that? I don't think that was, I think that was the new spot. Or that computer. I honestly haven't been paying attention. I'm unsure. So for ES, we're watching to see if they'll take in into 92 to 95, I think. We'll just watch to see if they're able to hold that on this new 15 and get us below or if they'll continue to defend this. Same thing with ES here, or sorry, NQ here into our 30 to 50. Are we able to absorb, rotate down? Same thing here, absorb, rotate down. Or are we just going to rotate back up? I do not know. Just watching our push into these highs. Wow, I cannot type. What? Do we have enough info yet to form like a... Yeah, okay. So that's the logic here. It's just like a hold of value loaded POC of this distribution that we've built out. If we're gonna go down, failure to do that, then we rotate back up, right? Get me out of here, man. Are we just like waiting on a headline? Is that all this is? Doomsday. Is Marvel back, man? New 15s have opened. We're still just trading here, same area. Watching to see if we can push down from this for a lower absorption and rotate, or if this will be a failure from sellers to shift us, and then we'll look for a pushback up, right? I don't know. My stop's at 255, like I said before, on NQ. We'll have a bit more traction below if we can see interest below 215, 200. Until then, we're a little bit stuck. Same thing with ES. Just a little bit stuck. Still holding where we need, but if buy side defends the 790, 792, then upside potential is here on ES short term, just for a rotation of our current range, right? That'd just be a defense of our val low from a look back in. So really watching to see on ES if they're going to be able to sustain now on this look below, right? And if then we bounce and then rotate up to here, or if we can get back below and then show interest below this guy. I'm just a little stuck. Have a good rest of your day. Bro, hold on, seriously. That's what we get for diverging markets, though, right? It's just so hard with Russell holding. We have to limit our expectations. But that being said, like, I mean, NQ's never been like an easier read for the upside, and then the rotation here, like, it's just trading in its range. So, like, this pivot with our look above and fail, I mean, it's just, that's all you need, right? Like, it's, I mean, we know where we're trading. It's just taken forever to get there. I'm actually gonna take off a few here on NQ as we retest lows, just in case ES doesn't get the shift. And then we'll see what we can do from this point. I took off half. So my average now is 230 on my runners. Gonna continue to maintain the same stop, that 255. I feel like this is how it was last Monday as well. Like the market just like didn't go anywhere. It was okay for like a couple rotations, but then it wasn't worth your time to actually like stick around for the day. And I remember we basically did a full day. Let's not make that mistake again. Might just be a chill in a position until we get stopped out kind of situation, right? Instead of just watching the slow price action. And then, you know, we either get filled or we get stopped, then let's come back tomorrow. It's kind of the game plan. It is a Monday after all. Yep. It's just so hard to get continuation trades with diverging markets. I really thought ES and NQ into those highs together was going to be able to get us a bit more, but it's just so tough with ES now bidding our value low of this distribution off of the failure. We haven't invalidated, right? We're still holding POC of the range, which is again just us still just maintaining here at this POC at 95. But we gotta shift back below this 90, 91, or it's just kind of GG's for a short term. Right, we're holding value low off of getting back in. So what we need to see is a failure to defend this, right? Or we're gonna get one of these rotations back up to the highs, and then we'll figure out what we do from there. We want sell side to get absorbed, or sorry, we want buy side to get absorbed into this fail and then shift below instead of bidding. So it's just a matter of which way do we hold on this edge with these guys trapped. Your targets here for NQ are 200 and then 175, 180. We know that there's a buyer at 200 that we need to flip, and then if we get below him, then we just rotate down to throw our lower edge following our plan. pretty big buy at 200s on NQ, and yeah, it's just following our pathing, just rotating through our value off of that failure to look below. Feels bad, short term. We've done our full ES pathing just through our balance, right? Just rotating from value high from value low, following our idea, right? There's no bull side until we shift above still, right? We're just balanced between these, following pathing. We need to either step down below 790 or above 801 for me to care. NQ slowly but surely heading down to our final target into 160, 180. But at our 200 right now, we've taken profit. We just have a runner left and we're watching to see what we do. All my trades are posted in Discord with our pathing, right? And just an understanding of what we're doing. It's slow, guys. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be staying with the speed. It's just not worth our time. We got our trades, the plan played, right? It's balance. Let's see if we get our last target on a push down. But again, ES just trapped here between our 797, 801 and our lows here at 92 to, 790. 790, 792. We're stuck for the meantime. We just need to see if a shift above or below for that to have any real value. It's hard with the diverging market because Russell's so strong. NQ and ES both have, that bear flag nature that we keep going down from. I just want some speed to pick up for this to play, right? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, everything's just playing out. I told you, we're not bullish until we flip our battle lines. We've been unable to do that and sustain. And we are rotating down now off of that failure. So we'll see if we get more, but it's very slow. It's not a day to, chill and stay here for the full session with the lack of volatility, right? It's get your money, survive, right? Make a little money today, or don't lose a ton and survive for tomorrow situation, when vol steps back up into the rest of the week. Last Monday was also pretty garbage. It was just balance and we overstayed. We'll see what we do here. Again, ES just coming back down to our value low of this balance, blue line to blue line. After following our white pathing, we're watching to see if we can flip it or if it holds here. Yeah, no problem, man. Sorry, I stepped away to grab some water. I mean, I think that if we can flip this, like, ES looks pretty good for short continuation, but it's, like, how long is that going to take is the question, and is it worth your time waiting? It's just like on the 15, it looks a little heavy, right? That's the setup we would be looking for. Is failure right from our highs and then a shift below our lows with this guy now being trapped here. Like that's the play. But again, like on the shorter time frame, are you going to be miserable in that trade is the question. I don't know. So what I mean by that, if you're not following my logic, is this. We are in an overall downtrend from our Globex session, right? We held our value, we rejected our highs of our ceiling following our plan, rotated down to our low, right, our battle line, and flipped it at open. We held that as resistance, and we're now currently below our Globex, our previous session's lows. So we're holding outside of value right now. It's very important that we get back in for any sort of bull side, upside pressure, right? Back into this gray box, which is our value. I just have ETH on here so that you can visualize that we tested the highs, rejected, and then rotated back down. The full Globex session was our entire plan, but it played out overnight, right? So now it's just like, okay, well, what do we do? Because that's all played out. All of our upside, all of our balance is played. So now it's a matter of, can we get back over our battle line, right? Our battle line is the pivot where we determine if we're going up or down on the day. If we're holding below our battle line, we're looking for our downtrend, right? Our down target 1, our down target 2. We're currently very balanced in this D distribution that we identified. What I see on the 15 is this potentially, right? Is just this continued failure from these buyers up here, right? They got absorbed. And then we can look at our 15-minute candle structure here. Our deltas, right, in these 15-minute candles, and we can see like all of this is just getting absorbed into these highs, and this is the overall node here, and we're seeing like these buyers are stuck up in here into our 797 for a lower high. So the potential right now is for maybe a continuation play off of a failure to get back up above here into these highs, right? So we just basically rejected that val low off of that last 15 where that sell side sits, right, into these highs. Immediately rejected, trapped into this, we absorbed here, and then rotated down. So the idea would be if we can breach, let's say, here, right, into this 792, which is what we've been talking about all day, is that we would then be able to potentially get a really nice continuation trade off of a lower high that got put in here. And then we're looking for them to then flip below this offer, and then you'd be able to get your next leg down with a bear flag kind of setup with this absorption holding highs, right? That's the idea. How long that takes to play out is anyone's guess. I don't know. Right now, like I said, you're currently balanced here between our our 800 and our 790, 792, and until we can flip below this guy here, you're just in a really slow market. Does that make sense? Do you guys see this? Do you see this guy who got a bit screwed up here into these highs off of a retest of this seller on this sweep candle down that we had, right? Very clear one-sided trading on that downside candle, and then we've been retracing that move, but it was a lower high. So that's kind of what I'm watching. What footprint is this? This is the his name's, what is his name? Delta footprint by Market Zero. And my setup is saved. So if you want to use the same book as me, it's saved. You just look up my name on Tradeify if you want my exact settings. Yeah, no, I've got them. It's all saved. You just look it up. What would you do? What would you look up is the question. Let me check. Sig. My entries. Yeah, it's on here. It's ready to go. So you would just look up yeah. In the community indicators tab, it's this one. You go to module templates and you just put my my name in, SIG there, and it's this one right here, SIG 15-minute NQ footprint with VP. There's the footprint by market 0. So it's that one, but I've got a bunch. I've got my 5-minute chart. I've got my 30-second chart. I mean, it's the whole layout. It's all there. Yeah. But yeah, this is what I would like to see on ES if we can get some follow through. I don't know. I mean, we'll see what they do. It just feels like pretty stuck for right now. Control Z all this. There we go. If you're gonna use my my layout, I really like these two charts as well, which is a 15,000 tick ES chart and an NQ 2-minute chart. Those are the 5-minute bubbles. You would just change the time frames a bit, but they're in the indicators, or that same section. They're available there. But I really enjoy these two charts to get a better read of the overall, and then I usually then look at footprint. But like for ES, I really like this structurally, just being able to have kind of our main areas with the delta on the side, and then the bubbles with a larger filter. For ES, I like to scale it via tick, so then I get a bit of a better read. So it's more of an accumulation, because ES has a little NQ, the areas show very easily on just a regular time chart. But with ES, I like to be able to find things like this, where it's like, oh yeah, like if we can't get over 800s, it's very clear that we're stuck here, right where these deltas were before, and then we're absorbing now, and then into these lows as well. It's like the 790, 792 is what we've been talking about. So I just see that off of our tick chart, and then it's like, okay, well, we're just going to be balanced between these two areas until we either, you know, can get that flip and hold, or that rotation, and then that show below this this taper here. And then to me, it's like all I look for is just what's going to happen into these tapers, and where are they currently accumulating, and can we flip back into our previous range that was up here, or is this now, right, our absorption, and we're just going to hold this and just kind of like rotate over and over again. but our overall read of like why we're looking for what we're looking for on NQ was based off of, I mean, this is from our previous session. All of this is done pre-market the day before. So these levels are static, all of our main ones. And they're just based off of this 2-day balance that we had, right? So it was just looking for a failure to sustain. And you can see that that's what happened. Basically in Globex, we tried to hold over our value high of our 2-day balance here from Thursday, Friday. And then we failed, looked back in, and then immediately rejected at open this morning and are now just rotating through value. So that's kind of my thesis on today, was that if we failed to look above, right, it would just be a rotation of a lower high off of this distribution, right, from Globex. And the reason why we're looking for this rotation down is because that is the floor of our value. So it's like, okay, well, what are we going to be able to do here? Can we get back up and then show that interest over that 790 like we talked about here, bullish above that on a look back through this range? Or does this hold? Do we get that look below? Do we get that secondary here for this rotation down? And then from here, can we get below this 160? Because if we do, I'm going to be then looking for a rotation from 160 and then a full push down into our 100 floor for the value rotation of this range, because we just failed, right? This is just us rejecting our val high from the inside, from a look outside from Globex, and then rotating down to our POC, which is here, right? Reoffering it. And now we're looking for this rotation back down to our value low, which would be this rotation here, right? So like that makes a lot of sense when you rationalize it through auction market theory, which is a look outside that failed, which is this, a look back in, and then reoffer of our value, which is this, right? And then we get our secondary move from that look down. That's this POC. And then we're getting this rotation back down and hopefully into our floor, right? Into this low. But of course this is first PT because this is where our low of the day was put in from that rejection, right? So this is we're trading within our IB. Yeah. We got to get below that 160, 180 for more. And if we can, then we'll get this rotation down to our floor. That's the whole idea of today, is that these guys are offsides above. We got a really nice reoffer of our value edge from the 2-day balance. And we are now trading within that 2-day balance structure, which is the overall. Hopefully that some light bulbs went on for some people of why I wasn't bullish until we flipped above. Nah, I hope that makes sense. It's just structure, you know? Pushing into our target now. So we'll see if we get any more, but that's the full secondary move on NQ. If you're following off of our 230, 255 area, we are now pushing into our 180 to 160. Again, you would need to see a very clear shift below this to get more, or we expect that this is going to be like short-term bid, and we're just going to have to wait and see what they do from here. Buyer attempting to show up at the area we thought at our 180. See if we get more or if they reject this. What we would want to see is, again, a very clear hold of another lower high as we push up from this bid, which is that POC where the buyer was able to step up and do this full rotation up, right? So we knew that this would be our target where buyers would be located. What we want to do is ideally trap as we are rotating back up into POC to value of this previous candle. So into this, and then we're going to be looking for them to take in size and then ideally, right, step us down below this so that we can get that interest that we need for a shift. And then we look for our secondary moves once we can hold that below that 160. So we're going to be watching to see if sell side can hold, again, value of our previous candle. If it can, then we're in a great position for that continuation down. Okay. For my yes enjoyers, again, this is us, same principle, but a bit different structurally. Our value from the day was this. This was our look above and fail area. Sadly, this happened we held, right? We didn't get the big old pop up, right? What we did was we rejected Friday's lows, this like little bear flag thing that we did, and then we looked into it, failed to take out the highs into that 810, into that day origin, and then rotated down into our battle line, right? Rejected, and are now battling with these lows. The idea is that if we can successfully hold this 790 801, that this is bearish for the market, because we will rotate down back to our previous structure And our previous structure is pretty crazy on ES in the sense of how long. Sorry, I kind of worded that wrong. It's not, it's just a rotation back down. Like our target would be 85s into our value high of this multi-day balance that we have here. So it has a lot more, how do I word this? That target makes a lot of sense if we can hold, but I would be expecting a full rotation through if it doesn't hold, right? Just like we just did here with a failure and then rotation up into this balance and now rotation here. If this can hold, I'm expecting this being target 1 into our value high. And then I would say probably maybe a retest here that kind of comes back up to retest this distribution. And then you're looking for probably a full rotation through down to these lows, with of course POC being our secondary target here into this 73, 75. POC is always a target. It is never a, it's not like an entry mechanism. It's just a target when we're looking through to traverse through value. So we're always going to be looking to take profit into that and then looking for that traverse through to the other side of value following our rules, right? The AMT laws. But always target first edge. Yeah, that's kind of the idea here, is that if this fails, then we've broken this balance and then that's acceptance below, right? If we fail to get the sustain, then we're just gonna be looking for that push back over our battle line, and then we can look for that rotation back up to 25. Hopefully that makes sense of like why we're looking for what we're looking for. It's the same thing as NQ, but just a little bit different structurally because of how large that range is on ES, right? So this is what the indicator gave us level-wise, right? So this is the half gap target for NQ at this 177, and then full gap is what, into 145? Is that what it's saying? Yeah. And then the floor 107, and then you've got this zone down here with the port low with that unfinished auction. So I don't know what we're gonna do right now. It just makes sense that this was target, and now we're just figuring out what we're gonna do from here. Do we go for that full fill, or does the half hold? What our indicator tells us is the full fill potential is 66%. Our half full fill potential was 78% for the size. So it's yeah, I mean it's still, I mean it's a little bit better, right? Like than a coin flip, but the half is usually what you target. You can't find it in the community. That's weird. I wonder why. Well, if you want to make it yourself, it's really not hard. I can just show you what the individual components are. This is all of the stuff that's inside of it. So if you can't make it yourself for some reason, these are the indicator components. You just take a screenshot of that and then you can set it up yourself. Let me know when you've taken a screenshot, and then Actually, you can just pause the stream. What am I talking about? There you go. Man, I wish there were more ways to style stuff. Inside left. All right. Yeah, so we're doing the thing. I'm gonna head out so that I don't have to stay here for the rest of the day. The plan played. Everything's doing what we thought it would. It just took a bit. You got to be patient on Mondays, man. It just is what it is. But you're getting the ES move now as well, following our plan off the failure. And we're looking for this rotation down. Down target 1 is 784, 785, right? That area. We're headed down there now on ES. These levels are on your charts as well, right? If you have downloaded my my book from TradingView, right? You get the charts every day. They're loaded onto your charts. If you don't know what I'm talking about, remember, you just go to the pins in intraday ideas and my chart is there, and then you can save that layout, and then all of the levels every day are auto updated for you because I draw them, and then you have the levels. Or if you want, I give you the levels pre-market, and then you can mark them yourself if you don't want to do that. So it's up to you, but everything's there. The morning read cards should come back soon. I'm currently working on them. That's why you haven't seen them the last couple of days, but I'm still trying to provide the levels for you guys on chart at least. Yeah. All right. Any questions before I go? Any concerns? Do you have any, do you need me to do anything else pathing wise? You good? Again, this says look below and fail area, intraday bearish on hold below. That's what we're doing right now. We're holding below. We are following our downside pathing idea. We're watching to see if we can get this continuation. Yep. This is that ES logic that we talked about of that bear flag and breakdown on the 15, which is what's happening right now, right? This is that look in, that failure to establish above, and then rejection, and then rotation below value here, right? And then opening below POC, and now just straight trend with us holding POC to value low of our previous candle for continuation now that we're in a downtrend, which looks great. Is that visible to you? Do you see the range rotation? Do you see the guy who got trapped and then the buyer who tried to sustain the edge, but then sell side swept below? These deltas coming through, and then that POC there holding on open of our new 15, giving us a great reoffer on this candle here into that. And now we're just following that idea with the seller now defending lower highs for this continuation down. All right, well, no one's responding, so I think that we're all on the same page. All right, I will see you all tomorrow. Goodbye.